Hey, what's happening, squad? Been a long time since I put up update in here for a variety of reasons that I really don't feel like getting into now. Um, yeah, I'm just not just anything. Yeah, feeling really, really immensely heavy right now. Almost even have this feeling like this. Maybe it's nauseous. Like gonna be sick, but it's not like heavy, heavy sick. It's just that lingering kind of feeling. And I feel like I'm clear on why I'm experiencing this. Doesn't make it feel any easier. And so what this is, um, you know, having another epic disagreement, with my wife about how we see a common goal, desire that we have. And this is as it pertains to, our home. I think I share with you. And there's negotiation that we have to do. So even long story short is we have this meeting today. My wife, took it upon herself to send the woman owner an emotional video sharing her concerns. She didn't ask me about it, so I was like, all right, fine. Anyway, and so going into the preparation of this negotiation, to renegotiate, to share with them our dissatisfaction on some of the agreements that we had, or at least we believed that we had, and to let them know that, we want them to, live up to their agreement, essentially. I did share with you all that this has been a very, very stressful process, for me, very draining, and for my wife as well. And it has caused a lot of knock-on effect in our relationship and a lot of things in this process. And like anything, when it comes to money or things involving money like this home, it just seems like my wife and just are not on the same wavelength. Like, not completely, but a big chunk of it. And this is where it is again. Like, I've been asking her since Thursday or Friday that we make time for this. We give this time to like really explore this, like, without a rush, and let's just really make sure we're ready to share what we need to share. Be clear on what we're requesting, so that way they can honor our request, and all these things. And for a variety of reasons, didn't happen Friday, didn't happen Saturday, and so here we come on Sunday. We're getting around to it. Before we get into it, like, I created this beautiful space, for us. And I'm going to say I did a great job because she acknowledged it and she felt into it and she thanked me for it. Just set the stage for us. To set the stage for, like, let's just put our hands up to where we are, that we've both been playing in victimhood for some time now. We've both been putting a lot of our energy, too much of our energy and time, into problems rather than solutions. And, again, it's not to judge that. It's just to recognize that where we are, where we want to go. We're here for more than that, essentially. Like, that was the essence of this space that I created when I spoke into. And she, I felt that we were on the same wavelength. She said yes. And that was to, help pave the way to have this conversation that has traditionally been very complicated and challenging for us to have. And like clockworks, like, we're going through the points, and she gets this point, like, she wants to ask about electricity. And I asked, like, so what is actually are you asking about? What do you want to get done with electricity? And clarifying what she's asking for, like, triggered her emotionally. Well, why don't you know? You should know. Yeah, I mean, I know there's a problem with electricity, but we've never really discussed, or at least I don't remember ever discussing, like, specifically what are we asking them. I just want to know, so that way we can talk about, make sure we're on the same page, and we can clearly ask them. That's it, nothing more, nothing less. Anyway, whole emotional thing, last night, and then today again. And the conclusion that I'm getting to is a couple things, and I'm just gonna skip all the bullshit and just say what I want to say. So apologies. Thank you for letting me just speak that out. I'm gonna put my hand up and say that I'm sure there's a lot of things I can do, a lot of things I could have done, and a lot of things that I still get to do to create safety for my wife. Recognize that perhaps when she's in these moments that she doesn't feel loved, and perhaps I'm not doing a good enough job to make her feel loved in these moments. hand goes up. And what I'm struggling to accept right now, although I see this is like going to be like an edge for me, like is the edge, is to recognize that my best may not be good enough for her right now. Right? Like for the longest time, not even with her, with other people, and actually I'm going to pull this thing in to help drill this point in. This is not a conversation, this could be a later conversation, but for example, like hearing Danny share like his story to himself is that I am not doing enough as senior member on the team, doing enough to support him. I felt that. Whether it's true or not, I felt that, at least the expectation I had. And so this phase where I'm at in my life is recognizing that me, the way I show up, may not be enough for other people. Whether it's the truth, their truth, whatever, it doesn't matter. My work and what I've been avoiding for such a long time, I think I've shared with you guys at some point in time, where I've been stopping myself of growing, expanding, and giving more, being more of service, is the fear of responsibility, of not being able to meet people's expectations. And so because I'm afraid that I won't be able to meet people's expectations, I'm stopping myself. And that's my shit. Because I have amazing examples, close people around me who are doing that. Jetty being one of those people. One of the great, beautiful fucking gifts I have to be on the leadership team is to see how Jetty moves through stuff. And Jetty takes a lot of responsibility for a variety of different things. I see that from Preston Smiles as well, having the opportunity to work very close with him. So I have people close to me and I get to see what that looks like. And I get to see where I've been blocking myself. Of this fear of not being able to meet people's expectations and me feeling like I can't, like that's too much responsibility for me to take on, so I don't do it. I stop myself. But also this stop myself is fucking myself because my truth is I'm not here to play small. So I get to untangle this. And that's the same thread that's playing out with my wife. It's a bit more complicated with my wife, but that thread is what's happening right now, is accepting that my best right now is not good enough for my wife to help her through this. It doesn't mean that I'm not good enough, like the core of me isn't good enough. It just means that what I have to offer in her path is not good enough for what she wants, for her to feel safe, for her to feel supported. As much as I'm going crazy, like trying to tick all the boxes, it's just not good enough. And I'm not saying that to feel bad. I'm not saying this like to throw the towel out. I'm just saying it as what I believe to be a fact that's not an attack on me. It felt like an attack my entire life of my wound that, again, I believe you guys understand, of not feeling good enough. It's not an attack on me. I've always received it that way. So right now in this of like trusting, like going to the negotiations and seeing that anything that I offer that is not supporting directly my wife's vision on this, she's receiving it as an attack. She's taking it as I'm not supporting her. She's taking it as whatever she's taking it as. And in my mind, I'm like, that's not what I'm saying at all, right? And when I am exhausted, like I'm mentally, emotionally fried from this conversation, from these conversations, and from this thing. And I don't know what else to do. Because what's also coming up right now, I feel the energy and the emotion that she wants to bring is going to make this negotiation either go tits up, it's a very English thing to say, south. It's going to make it more complicated for us. I'm not confident we're going to get exactly what we want. I feel like we're going to, if she goes this way and she wants to keep pushing it, we have to go get into yet another kind of legal thing, which I don't think is necessary. And so that's all of the fear and concerns that are coming up with the energy I see her bringing and how she wants to go through this. I'm not aligned with the energy overall of playing the victim card with these people to get what we want. I'm not aligned at all playing the exaggeration card to get what we want. I'm not at all aligned with playing like these little white lies to get what we want. I'm not down for that. My truth is that vibration that we carry. The universe fucking doesn't know any better. It just knows, oh, you guys want victimhood? Here's more experience in your life to be a victim. Oh, you guys want this conflict? Here's some more. I'm gonna give you more conflict. You guys want to these little white lies? I'm gonna send you more people who give you white lies. That's my truth on that. And we share this common truth when we're out of the emotion, but we're in the emotion, that's out the fucking window. And when I try to remind her of our higher selves, then all of a sudden it's an attack on her. I'm criticizing her. I'm judging her. I'm not being patient with her. All these, it's like, what? No. It's So what's coming up for me right now is as we go into this negotiation, it reminds me of these last 2 times I shared with you all. The negotiation we had getting into this place, I bit my tongue because my wife wanted to lead, and my truth is letting her lead the way she did is the reason why we're now trying to go back and clean this shit up, because we weren't clear from the beginning, right? It reminds me of the other property that we lost, and we are in a legal battle now to get that 25,000 euros back, because again, my wife wanted a thing and I bit my tongue. I fucking bitched out. I didn't say what I wanted to say, and that's what we got. And so now it's coming up again for me right now. It's okay. It's like, it's going to be the same thing, Brian. So I've said all I can say to her. I don't know what else to do. So what sucks right now, and I know this is my truth, and I get to be okay with this truth right now, my hand is going up and say, I don't have the tools. I don't have the tools right now. Not that there are no tools. I don't have the tools. I don't feel the tools to be able to, I guess, get my wife to see my way. It really, when it comes down to it, that's really what it is. Like, my belief that the way she's going into this is going to cause more problems, going to make it harder for us and for me. I don't want that shit. My belief is there's another way to do this that can still get what we want, but without coming from a place of aggression, without coming from a place of deceit, without coming from a place of we're the little babies, come save us. I don't vibrate with that. So what else do I do? What else do I do? I tried to hold this space for her last night. I tried to hold the space for her this morning to bring her back to it, and still the same thing. She's still going off and off and off about, no, he needs to, And I'm like, okay, so what else do I do? The only other tool I have, the tool that I know that's not even a tool for me, it's not an option for me, I can out-scream her. I can belittle her. I can dominate her. I can, yell at her into submission. I can physically fucking slap the shit out of her to wake up. These tools aren't tools for me. There's need to be options. But that's the only thing that comes to my mind that I can say are tools to say it's going to be this way. So those aren't options. So with what I got, it's like, okay, Brian, I try to create space. Perhaps me creating space right now it's not lining up right now. There's been a history of things that have happened in our relationship that me holding this space and trying to create this is not creating that for her. Or the way I'm doing it is just not good enough. Whatever it may be, it's not happening. It's not happening. I'm going into this situation like, okay, I don't agree with where she's going with this. I've tried to express this several times, even months ago leading up to this, and it's not happening. So what do I have control over right now? What can I do right now? It's the thing that challenged me the most, and I'm going to do this. And that thing is trust and confidence. Like, really, next level for me, fucking trust and confidence. Is I'm experiencing this fucking sickening feeling, this feeling of deceit and betrayal for my word, for myself right now, of my word, because I don't know what else to do. So because shouting over her, belittling her, being physical with her is not an option for me, the only option I have now is, or to keep on going, move to this way I'm moving through this, which is like, I'm going to keep on forcing it, and she's going to keep on getting triggered and keep on getting emotional. We're going to keep on, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that. Or I can say, you know what? I really don't know the outcome of how she's going to move through this. Maybe the way she's going to move through this is going to get us exactly what we want. Like, I'm afraid of that. I don't see it. There's nothing in my being that says the way she wants to move through this is going to help us. Really. I don't see it. But that's where it comes in. That's just my perspective. That's my truth. Like, I'm creating this worry based on my filter of life, my experience of people and everything. I really don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. So, I get to practice fucking radical faith and trust and confidence in my wife and confidence in the way she needs to the way she needs to move through this. She feels attacked by this man. She feels insulted by this man. She feels all these things, and so it's not even just like personal. It's not even professional. Like we had an exchange like of goods and services. It's not even about that anymore. It's now personal for her, and she feels she has to come this way to resolve something with herself. Well, how the fuck do I compete with that? How do I express so many times that yes, I hear that your experience was true, and there's another way to move through this. She doesn't want to hear it. She has to move through this way. She has to move through it. And the other part of this, which is deeper truth for me, is like, okay, Brian, whatever happens is also okay. So let's say that my fears are true. She moves this very emotionally. She comes this very defensively. She brings all this fucking energy that I find to be very negative, very low vibrating energy, and attracts more problems. They shut the fuck down. Worst case scenario, they say, you know what, guys, we're not going to do this with you anymore. We don't even want to continue this operation. So you guys had a year and a half to finish this, but actually not. We're actually, at the end of this year, we're done. Here, take your money back and go find a new house. I guess that would be the worst case scenario for me. I don't want to find a new house. I fucking love this place. Or the worst case scenario, say you guys, they find a way to breach, to say we didn't live up to our end of our end of the deal, and they keep our money. I guess that'd be really the worst case scenario. And they say get the fuck out. Or they kind of agreed to it, and now we're in this kind of like this awkward thing that my wife has created with almost every fucking person that we've had. Like every renter that we've had before this, like she's created this kind of this story, and it's like it leaves me because now I'm her husband, so I end up now